Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about ARK Invest with Cathie Wood. And ARK Invest, if you don't know, is ETF managed by the hedge fund, the hedge fund star who got really popular in 2020, Cathie Wood. And I think the reason why is because ARK really actually did really, really well, in 2020. If you take a look at their chart, you would know that in 2020 it went up quite a bit. This year is actually down. Okay, so in 2020 from February, right, really when the pandemic started, and all the way up to earlier this year, it hit its peak, and then for about the next 10 months, it was trading pretty sideways, and actually eventually just kept going down. Okay, so but the reason why I'm still bullish on ARK is because Cathie Wood and ARK is invested for long term into namely a lot of disruptive industries. So I want to take a look at some of their holdings, and I want to talk about some specific penny stocks today that Cathie Wood has invested in that I'm interested in taking a closer look and perhaps even adding to my position as well. Okay, so if you take a look at Cathie's ARK.com, we can see that just through all the ARKs that she has over 200 and something different positions, and all weighted slightly differently. So on the very top of the list, Cathie Wood has Tesla. Okay, so she sold off some of her position, but she still has most of her stock in Tesla with a weight average of 5.83%. So that's not super high, but that does cover the majority of her portfolio. Okay, or the majority percentage of her portfolio. Okay, she also has Teladoc, Coinbase, Roku, Zoom. All these stocks have been down quite a bit in the last couple months, namely because I think they are also overvalued, and so unfortunately for Cathie Wood, her ETFs have been going down. Okay, so taking a look at some of these other stocks, real quick, Unity Technology is one that I've been looking at. They are invested into they are a disruptive company as well. But again, these are all stocks that have a relatively high P ratio, and given all that's happening with the federal tapering and inflation, I don't think right now is really the best time to be invested into uh, sort of these sort of these like these high growth stocks. Okay, so um, but so going down a list, I want to show you some stocks that is specifically invested into gene therapy. That way you can take a look. But also at the same time, I want to point out some penny stocks that I thought was pretty interesting. Okay, so first off, what is gene therapy, and why is Cathie so bullish on it, and why is Cathie even invested in it? I think the reason why Cathie Wood is really invested into gene therapy is because she believes that it is going to be an industry that really causes a lot of change. And gene therapy is basically this technique that modifies someone's genes to treat or cure disease. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that would work, but in a nutshell, with so many diseases out there, that is what gene therapy is aimed to do. Okay, so some of the stocks that companies that she's invested in that works with gene therapy includes Intelia, CRISPR, and I think there's quite a few other ones. 10x Genomics, Invitae. So all these are companies that she's invested in. Okay, that works with gene therapy. Now I want to look at some of the penny stocks. Okay, so penny stocks mean that stocks that are under $10. Generally, these are companies that you don't really want to hold too large of a position because they do have a lot of volatility generally, and you really just don't know when or how it's going to explode, right? But it does have greater potential just because generally speaking, they have lower market caps, and on top of that, right? I think it just depends on what the company is doing, and where they are with their financials. But I thought one interesting one was QSI. Okay, so QSI is actually a stock that I had bought a leap option on. Okay, so if you take a look at QSI today, it is trading at $6.24. It has a market cap of $857 million. Year to date, it's been down really a lot. Okay, so that's the reason why, more than ever, I'm wanting to really add to this position. And if you take a quick look at what QSI is, okay, so we'll take a look. Quantum Psi is the name of the company. Okay, and just taking a quick look also at the fundamentals, I think it's always good to take a look at just some of the stock fundamentals. So QSI, first of all, is talking about is surrounding the whole generation of protein sequencing. So it just has a lot to deal with, biology, making better, better technology to combat diseases. Okay, so it is a very interesting, new technology that they're developing, to cure sickness, and that's why I think Cathie Wood is really invested into this. Okay, so it's important to note off the bat that there is a pretty high insider ownership. Okay, so right now, the insider ownership is at about 30%. So that is pretty high. There's about 112 employees. And so that's always good to know. We don't really have a P ratio for a P ratio yet because they're not really making a profit just yet. So this is definitely one of the stocks that is definitely considered penny stock because they haven't really had a lot of catalysts or just numbers to show their profits and all that. Okay, so this is one that I would be careful of, but it is interesting to keep note of, and if you want to follow what Cathie Wood is doing. Okay, so taking another quick look. Okay, so it's great. Cathie has some solid stocks that I think has pretty good valuations and is a company that's going to stick around, like Pfizer, Google. Let me see. Yeah, and as you can see, we're gonna go down, as we go down the list. The holding weight gets lower and lower. Okay, so she does have PayPal. Lending Club is one that I'm definitely bullish on, and so it's just really interesting to see what stocks that she holds that I'm also holding. I did a credit spread on Toast, and Lockheed Martin is definitely a stock that I'm holding. I think it's a good stock to have to deal with the defense industry. And yeah, so, okay, where is it? We're going to keep going down the list. It's going to get smaller and smaller. So let me see. Okay, Zymergen. Okay. Okay, Aqua Bounty Technologies. Okay, that one was one that I thought it was pretty interesting. When I saw that on her list, and I was just kind of curious why she was invested into it. And let's take a look at that stock real quick. So Aqua Bounty Technologies is trading at $2.39 per share. So it's definitely a penny stock. It's gone down about 72%. So it is at an all-time low. But basically, it's a company that's researching and developing genetically modified fish. Okay, so as we know, there's a lot of genetically modified meat products and different products for food consumption. And given that there's just a food shortage going around the world, I do think this is a company that, if successful, it is going to be a very disruptive company. All right, right now it has a market cap of 169 million, so it's not really big. But it was founded in 1991, so obviously it's continued to, provide helpful research. If it wasn't, then they would be out of funds by now. Okay, so yeah, if you're, I even read another article talking about how it's genetically modifying salmon. Okay, so if you like salmon, this will be an interesting play. With penny stocks, I definitely wouldn't invest more than 1%, probably less than 1% of your portfolio. But these are just kind of fun to have, and if it ever explodes, and if it really takes off, then you're gonna make a lot of money on those stocks. Okay, so those are really the two ones that I found most interesting. QSI, with protein sequencing, curing diseases, and the last one, AQB, with technology that is researching genetically modified fish. Okay, take a look for yourself and see which holdings that Cathie Wood has that you might have, and let me know what in the comments below if you have any stocks that are in the ARK Invest holdings that you think you just really have high convictions for. These are just some of the companies that I saw that I thought was really interesting, and it's always just good to know what other hedge funds are holding as well, and just to kind of compare it to your portfolio. Okay, well, if you like this content, if you want me to make more content like this, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions. And until next time, guys, I will see you in the next video.